We're getting there. Great. So now properly you can hear me. So I apologize for the delay in transmission this morning. We are with you already, and we know you're with us already in spirit. So apologies for the late in transmission. But the day is great, as I said. It's a beautiful day. I feel the joy. I feel the love. And I know that we're going to resurrect in our power, in our love. And I think I'm jumping the steps, but I love who is taking us through it too. So this is a beautiful day. And before we start the day, I'd like to say we had already done our meditation. You may have seen half of it in the videos. So the meditation has been completed. We would continue with our vision call. Etherean Mission Vision always anchors you to a holistic vision. And that would be today done by our sister Georgina up here. And when Sister Georgina is done, our vigil minister for the day, Kofi Dampare, will lead us into an invitation of spirit, because it's a day that we invite ourselves many times into spirit, preparing us for the message of the day. And like I said, the message of the day would bless you. So stay tuned, and I would introduce the speaker for the day after the invitation. Thank you, and God bless you.
God bless you. Let's listen to our vision call. The Etherean Mission Vision Call is a statement of faith. Its message directly appeals to the soul and empowers it. In it is embodied the Etherean Christ vision, which states, "See the good and the divine in yourself and in all of life. Life is at Congress, working for our highest good and the good of the universe. We are here as conscious and active participants in life effort to establish the kingdom of God, which embraces all of humanity, irrespective of their race, creed, or culture here on earth. We are the divine expressions of God, determined to make this happen through the practical applications of our Christ vision, which adjusts us to see the good and the divine in ourselves and in all of life. We declare, no need to be true, that our lives are good. Our good is getting better, and our best shines. We are here on earth to do God and be gods of truth and love, and so we are. Amen.
Amen.
Yes. The invitation, not by me, but by all of us. Yes. She said by Kofi Dampare. Oh, hey. Shall we sing Christ's age in 1, 2, 2? Whosoever heareth, shout, shout the sound.
Whosoever heareth shall shout the sound. 2. Whosoever heareth shall shout the sound.
Send the blessings, tidings, all the world around. Spread the joyful news wherever man is found. Whosoever will may come. Whosoever will, send a proclamation over vale and hill. 'Tis a loving Father calls the wanderer home. Whosoever will may come. Whosoever will, there need no delay. Now the door is open, enter while you may. Christ is with his truth, the only living way. Whosoever will may come. Whosoever will, send a proclamation over vale and hill. 'Tis the loving Father, calls the wanderer home. Whosoever will may come. Whosoever will, the promise is secure. Whosoever will, forever shall endure. Whosoever will, this life forever will. Whosoever will, may come. Whosoever will, send the proclamation over vale and hill. Tis the loving Father, cause the wanderer home. Whosoever will, may come. Whosoever will, send the proclamation over vale and hill. Tis the loving Father, cause the wanderer home. Whosoever will, may come. Yes, pray, be seated.
God bless you. He says, whosoever will. And we are all willing. And we've all resurrected. Before I introduce our great speaker for the day, I first would like to remind us, I know I always say the COVID protocols. If you're even home, still abide by the rules. I know we've been let loose on it, but if at any point you do feel unwell in this temple, please let the leaders know and they will support you accordingly. Our fire exit points, as we normally remind you, are right now is boldly written on all the doors that are fire exit doors. So there's one just on your right here, one right behind me, one straight at the back of us, and our assembly point would be Fixed Marsh, which is the Gorringe Park. So should there be any fires, please, this would be the place this would rise to, or would run to. So, our family online, we're going to the exciting part of the day. It's all exciting anyway, but I'm happy to introduce this person for the day who will take us through the resurrection of our Christ. And it's in the person of our deputy leader, Sister Huberta Nelson. And she takes us through, but I'll tell you something. She was, on Friday we went into the tomb. If you want to resurrect with someone, she was the spirit I resurrected with because she was with me on Friday talking. Spoke to her on Saturday, which is something I normally don't do. And then we spoke on a Sunday morning. So you can see there's always a spirit in someone that rises in you. And she was calling for something in me, and I think that has come. So wait for yours and experience it. God bless you.
God bless you. Today is Resurrection Day, as Christians all over the world are celebrating. Believed to be the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Easter is our divine imperative, and it is vital importance to us to celebrate it in the mystical or spiritual way that it is meant to be. Last week, we had part 1 of our Easter services, which dealt with the crucifixion of the ego, and it was brilliantly done by our able sister, Asantua Ahuga Dufia. And today, we continue with part 2 of the Easter spiritual imperative, which is on the resurrection of the Christ consciousness within you. Truly, it is our divine imperative to be able to crucify our egos and resurrect the Christ spirit within us. We have to practice this all the time, actually, and not limit it only to the Easter Good Friday or the Easter Saturday. As St. Paul said, I die every day that Christ live in me. As Christians, we'll be able to every day reappraise ourselves, our lives, the activities of the day, and all the limitations that we have allowed the human part of us. We're able to, get rid of them, analyze them, and get rid of them completely, so that the risen Christ will rise in his full glory as it is meant to be. The resurrection, to do the resurrection, I just have to say briefly again to recap this point that Easter is not a historical event, but it was it was started by Emperor Constantine in 325 AD. And it's usually celebrated the first Sunday after the spring equinox, the March equinox, when we change our time, to align all the world on the same level. The equinox falls on 21st, so Easter is usually celebrated between 22nd of March and 25th, the latest. It is celebrated by Christians all over the world, as we've been told, to mark the crucifixion and the death, and the resurrection of Jesus Christ, which occurred, as we've been told, informed, after 3 days. There are many stories dating back to how the origin of Easter, but as we often we found out, it is a Christianized celebration marking the ancient spring festivals. So long ago, they used to celebrate a goddess, an English goddess of spring, whose celebration occurs around the time of Passover. So coincidentally, or incidentally, the Bible records the death of Jesus and his resurrection around the same time of the Passover. And hence, these two were eventually merged as one. Non-English speaking Christians usually refer to the celebration of Easter in their own terms, but they all relate it to all the different countries. When you go through, you find out they all relate it to the Passover time. Hence, we have the Greek saying Pascha, in their tradition. It's similar to the Passover rites. The celebration of Easter, the spring celebration, is an ancient time acknowledgement of the spirit of spring, which is renewal, rebirth. There's renewal, there's rebirth of life. We find flowers springing up in all corners. Trees which seem to be dead in the winter months are suddenly resurrecting. They are coming to newness of life. All nature is telling you about newness, to renew yourself as well. So the old order of things in you must change to give place for new. And we all know that when people even die, for plants to be fruitful, first the seed have to die, appear rotten and dead, before it rises under the correct circumstance or correct conditions, time, text, time, energy, space, and circumstance to be fruitful. So we have the Easter celebration marking the springing forth or the rebirth, renewal of all nature. And this is personified in the Egyptian story of Osiris, who was the father god, and he died during the months of winter, and impregnated the Iris, his wife, and then brought forth his son Horus in the springtime. These are all stories which, when you look, there are so many. But when you look at the essence of all the stories, there's a significant thing is telling. Life is talking to us. Life is teaching us as children. Life is teaching us about death and rebirth, that there's a cycle of things that we must always follow and change. So it is important. It's not important. It's not important historical event that the circumstances to this historical event or the death of Jesus is not really what matters. What matters as Christians, a practicing Christian, is to practice the art of dying to the old self and coming out anew every time. Dying to your vices, your egos, tendencies, your hurt, your pain, your confusion, and bearing all these, or, getting rid of all these and replacing them every time, once a while, reminding of yourself that the power is in your hands to get rid of old concept of things and change, revamp your life so that Christ is made manifest in you, through you, and as you. Rise from your human concepts and connect at soul level. There should be a soul connectivity during the Easter month especially. Though I've said in the beginning that it should be a daily activity as Christians that we're doing. But especially at Easter time, we must be able to do this Good Friday activity of crucify, making a conscious effort to fast and crucify, get rid of all those negative tendencies, those tendencies which let us down in our human lives, those things which we cannot, due to environmental conditioning and things, we let them belittle our Christ image. You get rid of all of them. And then you focus on the fertilizing grace of God, the thriving nature of God, the rebirth that the spring season tells you about. So you rebirth in the glory of God all around you. And you find that this renewal is celebrated by all people everywhere. Consciously or unconsciously, they are all celebrating a renewal. Even Muslims, as they're doing their fast and everything. The fast was what? Purification. Getting rid of the human self, the things which let us down, the egoistic tendencies. They use their own words, but when you look, it's the important thing we should realize that life is telling us a story of renewal, of getting rid of our old activities can be done because God has imbued in us his power with 5 blessings to have dominion over everything, including our inner drives. We have we can rule over all of them if we try. So Easter is the time when we make this conscious effort to do this rectification in our life. It is a spiritual imperative on our life that we personalize it individually, meaning that you experience it at an individual entity. The Master has done his set footmark for us to follow, to emulate. We shouldn't be sitting down just calling on his blood to save us. We are to follow his example, of going through the trials and everything and coming out golden glorious. You claim it for yourself. Easter is a season of forgiveness. Even when your, so-called enemies, people are trying to hurt you, to humiliate you, to do all sorts of things that humans, do, you just turn the other cheek, as the Master said, the other cheek of your Christhood, because you are recognizing your oneness with all of life. And when you are one with me and I hurt you, then there should be nothing to forgive. You shouldn't even see that hurt, because life has a way of using the pain to correct us, to gently mold us into better being. Pain is an ally, therefore, pain is there to correct us, to make us more of our spirituality, to make us express more of our spiritual glory. Easter is the claiming of your divinity through crucifixion and transmutation of the ego tendencies, the human tendencies within us, the human tendencies that we sometimes get identified with, and then the resurrection on the 3rd day of the divine child of God that you are, with infinite possibilities that you are, or the infinite possibilities that has been endowed in you. This means you completely let go of the old order, and then take on a new order, because you cannot put new wine into old caskets. It destroys it, and you lose it all. So you express, through these Easter changes, you express and embrace a new dynamic you, a spiritual presence, spiritual magnificence of God that you originally created as. You were created after God in righteousness and in true holiness. You stand out in the crowd for people to see your spiritual magnificence as the divine child of God, a blessing to the world. The ego, I must say, even though we crucify it, we must know that the ego cannot be totally destroyed, but it is transmuted We transcend it. We transmute it. We know in science, it tells us that matter cannot be destroyed. It changes form. So you are changing, replacing one form, which is letting you down, which is belittling your God image, the God power, the God essence that you are. And you are taking on the garment of authority and power, your spiritual presence that has dominion over all things. And when it speaks, all falls into perfect order. There is peace. So we rise into our higher glories through these Easter times. Now we move on the resurrection of the Christ. The resurrection of the Christ is not complete without his resurrection in all components of our lives, in all areas of our lives, in all regions of our lives, in our inner drives, in our outer drives as physical, in every part. So there must be a holistic assessment of every area of our life to embody the divine attributes of God that we are. Have absolute control over everything in your life. After all, you are a unique emanation of God, the embodiment of God, the very presence of God made manifest. That you are. Power and glory are yours eternally. Therefore, we must be able to rise in that divine natures. Your senses are cleared. They're clean. When you let go of them, when you crucify them or you bury them in the tomb of our chemistry, you're coming out on the third day, a glorious spiritual presence of God. You have disciplined mind, disciplined feeling, disciplined body, a body which is not gluttonous, just eating what he wants to eat, eating for, they say because it tastes nice, but it's destroying you. A body, a mind that is not filled with junk of backbiting, gossip, maliciousness, and other things. You clear your mind of all those. A man which is not belittling the Christ image that you are. You are a divine being. So anything which comes out of your mouth must be pure, must be holy, must be acceptable for the divine nature that you are. Your words will not hurt anybody. Your words will not imprison people. You read things which will enhance life. You speak things which will enhance lives. In fact, every area of your life, your finances must be geared towards helping the world, promoting life. Not for showing off to the world who I am or what I can do with my finances and so on. So every area of your life, every zone of your life must be clear. See the divine possibilities of God that you are and acknowledge them in every area of your life. And when you are doing that, believe me, the possibilities in you are endless. You spring forth with a spring feeling to inspire health in even yourself. Because most of the time, people get sick because of the negative self-image that they have of themselves. Because of the pain that they're going through, which they allow themselves to be identified with. They don't reckon that they are spiritual children of God, just experiencing these pains and setbacks to be better people. So they get identified, and they go the selfish, egoistic way. Why me? Why me? And they wallow in despair. And then you find they're having palpitation and other ailments. And then you'll be blaming somebody somewhere. So let us resurrect in the power, the resurrective power of the Christ within us. The resurrective life sees the divine and the possible, the good and the divine, and the possible good and divine in itself and in all of life, as the Ethereans say, or we affirm. Easter is therefore the Alpha and the Omega of Christianity. It is what makes you a true practicing, spiritual, mystical, disciplined Christian, that God is proud to say that this is my beloved son, this is my beloved daughter, in whom I am well pleased. That is what Easter is supposed to demonstrate. You let go of the old order and you have taken on a new risen Christ. It is the demonstration of your triumph of the Spirit through the flesh. Triumph of your spirit through the flesh. Not over the flesh, but through the flesh. Because you need the flesh as a prism to unfold. Look at the clouds. They pass through prism. They break out into beautiful colors. The sun, pivots in a prism and then breaks out into spectrums of rainbow colors. So hence, you use, you triumph through flesh. Flesh is your prison to break out the glorious newness, freshness, dominant, powerful, authoritative Spirit of God that you are, that knows all things and that does all things right, makes all things anew and perfect. The Spirit that does not live in pain and shame, because he knows those things as weapon for its growth. Hence, you cannot hate anybody for even correcting you, for even causing you pain to redress the situation. You bless the person. You bless the person because it is grace of God that you are being corrected. If you are not being corrected, God knows what will happen to you. You rot. It's like you've cut yourself even from your God center. And when a branch is cut from the main root, it withers and it dies. You'll be corrupted. You'll be corrupted. And so your true spiritual self does not shine forth its glory anymore. The resurrection life comes with two commands for us: to be the blessing and to bless. To be the blessing and to bless. And this is encased in peace be unto you. We find this in John 20:21. Peace be unto you. So you be a blessing and be blessed. And then the second resurrection life comes with the command that feed my sheep. Feed my sheep. And this is found in John chapter 21, verses 17 and 18. The full context is there. So this second one, feed my sheep, it comes from the teaching that we are here to teach the world the part of the salvation message. We give spiritual nourishment to life, to people. We know in the Etherean Mission, we always have workable definition for our spiritual terms. So blessing to you, you just say, oh, I bless you, or God bless you. No, to the Etherean, it means more. Blessing, as we say in the Etherean Mission, is the evocation and the release of universal energy of good through you to a target. It is the evocation and release of a universal energy of good through you to a target. That is what we call blessing. So when you just say, God, somebody you are quarreling with, and you just say, God bless you, and you don't mean it or something, you are not blessing the person. It must come with good intention, back with good universal energy of thought to the target. Say it with meaning. Let your senses all say it, acknowledge it. If your senses cannot accept and acknowledge, then don't say it. Clear your mind of the pain and hurt. Then say it well to the target. So blessing either nourishes, is either a nourishing energy to a target or a potential activation energy to the target. That is, it feeds the target, as we say, feed my sheep. Or it uplifts the target. It activates an energy, a motivation, a drive in life to be the better you, to rise in your glory of your Christhood. It nourishes you. It rejuvenates you. You get into newness of life when you are blessed. It inspires health. it inspires, it stimulates abilities in you. You know, when you bless a child with goodness, and you don't, actually they say, there is a saying that give the dog a bad name, and it will live up to it. So give your child a good name, a blessing, and she will live up to it, or he or she will live up to it. When you keep motivating your children with good intentions, instead of bringing them down or comparing them to somebody else's child. We are all unique emanations of God. Call for the potential in your child. Even one step, if the child is able to take one step, congratulate the child. He'll feel better to do even more. And step by step, you find that we are going in the right direction. Blessing, I said, is the evocation and the release of a universal energy of good through you to a target. And you find that it is nourishing, uplifting, activates a lot of potential and energy in the person, godly virtues in the person. For instance, when you take a common smile and you smile to somebody who is depressed or something, the person feels love and they can't help but to smile back at you. When you are joyous, you find that it's like a magnet. It attracts more joy around you. Even a good morning, a hello, when you meet a neighbor, you open the door and say, hello, good morning. You see the warmth, the person looks and, because some people stay in their houses and they don't even get anybody to talk to them for a second. So that good morning at the bus stop or something, it's heaven. This brings me to mind, there's a beautiful girl at my workplace, and due to her condition, everywhere she can't help but everybody. But to me, it's a perfect condition. Everywhere she goes, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, holiday, and good morning. That's what she's always forever joyful. And the friends that she gets, sometimes we want to stop her from even shaking hands. But people can't help it. They forget about COVID and they want to embrace her, the warmth of this girl's heart. Good morning, good morning. Even when she's in pain, good morning, she will still be saying and be smiling. And she's always ready for a handshake. When you turn your back, it grieves her. Just imagine an aspect of God. How awesome. And we have tags for them, but this is a unique side, which makes us who looked after her feel so belittled that we don't do likewise to our mates. We come cold, heartless. Good morning, even when it's, So we are always joyful. She really lifts us up and lifts the neighborhood. When you go for a walk and you are not with her, they'll ask you. Everybody will ask you where she is. We don't do name calling, so I can't, but I've controlled myself. It's sad. But we love her, an aspect of God. She's in a care home, but, she's giving quality service to life. So life blesses her. Bless the evils in your personal life and let your life dissolve them. The goodness of your life dissolve them. Bless the good in life also to amplify them. By blessing, you are calling forth even more goodness in life. The blessing in practice. We all know if you put your mind back and you see that if you give good, the good you want to somebody, you definitely receive it. You receive the same measure of goodness from the people. You offer people gifts to people or to help them reduce pain and ability, things that they are going through. And you find that they have some joy. They want to do something more for you, though you are not doing it with the thought that you want anything back. But it's a natural thing because they're feeling so good that they also want to share that aspect with you. Sometimes a little thank you or a little touch, they want a hug or something, makes it complete for them, even when they can't give you. That is their part that they are sowing. So we must be able to accept those loving feelings that people give to us, because they are also expressing the goodness of God that they are. So the good that you want people to have also, if you do not have it, you can, and if you do not have it and you believe in this universe that is ever sustaining, the benevolent universe, you can connect to the source of all goodness and acknowledge it in you. Take a deep breath of the goodness of the universe and hold it so you cannot anymore. And then release it as a target or as a blessing onto a target. If you feel that thing that you want is not in you, you can still harness it from the universe, because there's everything in this benevolent universe. So you can use it. So there is no excuse for not being able to bless anybody. Going deeper, you can look for the God values in the target, the person. Meditate on what positive energy you can evoke from the person into expression, or what positive energy you can invoke from yourself into the person. He has so much good qualities, but she is so unforgiving. And you have so much love. So evoke the love of your being. Hold it, link it to the source of eternal love, to the source of indivisible love, to the source of unconditional love. Hold it there so that it's empowered and it is charged a millionfold. Then you release it. You breathe out on the person. That's your blessing. And when you find that when you do that, the person becomes so fulfilled that he blesses you back. And even if he doesn't, the universe has its way of blessing you. Every blessing you bless to the world comes back to you. As the Etherean psalm says, the love I give away, I keep. Oh, you definitely keep a millionfold and even more. So know that when a blessing always blesses twice. It blesses the giver and the recipient. It twice blessed are you. Anytime you offer a blessing, you are yourself are blessed, and the target is also blessed. Blessing increases you. It increases you in the light of goodness. When you bless, only blessing comes to you. There's a release of goodness. That means your every need before you call, it is answered. Blessing frees you from the burden of your own evil and the burden of the evil thought that the person has about you. When you bless them, a time comes like a magnet. It attracts them, the beauty, because there is God in them. The image of God is somewhere dormant in the person. So when you are calling it for by blessing the person, okay, eventually the person feels it and responds. So if it frees the person from the evil mind, the evil mentality that is in them. When you bless people, they lose the power to harm. They lose their power to harm you, to harm themselves, and to harm the world. They want to harm you. They're doing everything, and you are just giving them love and blessing. You find that slowly, like a magnet, it's charging. It's charging. It might not be obvious, but people see them. People who are with them will see the changes gradually. So, they become powerless. They cannot harm you or harm themselves or anybody anywhere. A lot of people, they have so much pain, and you find them cutting themselves and so on. But when you start giving them love, in the beginning, they will strike you, they will hit you, they will even feel like stabbing you. It's because they cannot handle their own pain. But you are a bigger brother, a bigger sister, and you know better. So you keep loving them. They give you a slap, you keep loving them. They insult you, they abuse you. You are in your position as a carer or a caregiver to give it more of it. And you find that eventually the same people start responding to you. And others will say, but what do you do that this person doesn't beat you, doesn't hit you, but it hits me? Because love responds to love. And eventually, there's a breakthrough with you, and others don't understand. Not because you have anything, more special about you than them, because we are all special units, but you are practicing your God magnificent, your God image and likeness on them. So they respond with life, and they get to love you. And then you find that there's no more of the abuse, there's no more of the trashing, even if it is, it's scaled down. It's occasional. So let us practice love. Let us practice blessing. You are twice blessed. Bless your enemies and bless all of creation. Because when you bless, you get back equal measures and even more. When you bless your neighbors and loved ones, you also amplify the good in them, and they naturally flourish to promote life. In your family lives, in your children, in your marriages, in your businesses, learn to bless daily, constantly, every moment. Just let sacred words come out of your mouth. Sacred words of beauty, of empowerment, of love, of laughter, of caring, of kindness. Let those be the words that you use to control your business, or to lead your business into further success. You find that people respect you even when you are there for the love that you give them. They feel guilty if they have to do something against you. You are not there, but you have embraced them in love. So even when you are not there, your God magnificence shines around them. And so through that, they are able to excel. And then your business also flourishes. Blessing with the loaded angels. Angel is a Greek word. It comes from a Greek word, angelos, meaning a messenger. Every idea of God is a living spirit and may be harnessed. You can call it forth into you for the evolution of life. In the first breath of God are infinite living spirits of joy, of wisdom, of love, of health, of vitality, of peace. Just like the ray of the sun that is made up, you see the sun is like one big ball, giant ball of light. But it's made up of billions and billions of colors. So are the angels. So are they beautiful colors, arrays of colors. And, the breath of God which comes out with, different dimensions of joy, peace, love, or fruit of the Spirit that you say, health and everything. They come in billionfold. They are all there. And you just touch one and it sparks. In the right prism, it amplifies into a magnificent array of colors, arrays of love, levels of beauty, levels of power, levels of success, levels of ideas for you. They are all angels coming to you when you know how to handle and discipline yourself. You can clearly evoke holy ideas of God as living spirit to minister and support your evolutionary needs. Such divine ideas or angels are purely for evolution of life, for the enhancement of life, and never to be used for human selfishness. Now we go touch a few steps of evoking these living spirits or angels to support us in our quest. Step 1, you evoke, you direct, you declare. Evoke, step 1. Direct, step 2. Declare or command, step 3. Declare the benefit, step 4. And let your in-breath connect you to the source, and your out-breath release you as the angel. So, step 1, you evoke the living spirit of the angel or God's grace. You evoke it. You call it forth into expression. You see it. You feel it with all your senses. You call it forth because it is there, and you know there's evidence of God's grace everywhere you pass. We are eternally sustained. We are being fed by Mother Nature. The sun is giving of its warmth. The air is breathing us. You know, we are eternally blessed. So you know that there are living spirits of God which are benevolent, and they are so boundless and timeless in their potentialities. So evoke the living spirit of the angel that you want. If it is wisdom, if it is counseling, if it is love, you evoke the living spirit of or the angel of God's grace that you need. Then you direct it to a target, the target you want to heal. Mention the target's name or anything that describes the target. And then you declare, third one, you declare and command the living spirit or angels to the target. You declare and command it. You do not just pray, say words like I'm saying the Etherean Mission Psalm, or I'm saying the Etherean Mission Vision, or I'm saying the Etherean Mission Prayers. You command it. You say it with authority. You declare it. You declare this. And then you declare the benefit or blessing it is to life as a whole. Remember, life is one organic whole. And if it blesses life, it blesses the channel through which it blesses, the blessing is obtained. So any blessing you give to life come through you, the channel, who is directing the blessing. And the fifth step, let your in-breath connect you to the source of that blessing. And your out-breath release you as the angels onto your target. An example of this is you take your first breath. From the first breath of God, I evoke the living spirit of love and kindness, or compassionate love, or love, the living spirit of prosperity and wisdom, to incarnate in the life of Auntie Mabel, to incarnate in the life of Sister Efua, to incarnate in the life of Brother Kofi, or whoever you want to bless. Stimulating in him the desire to be resourceful, to be successful, to be victorious, or to be more loving for the advancement of Etherean Mission UK, or for my community, or for humanity. And then you step into the silence, where in the magnitude of the first breath of God that you evoke as the spirit of love, the spirit of prosperity, or the counseling spirit that you have evoked, you take it in, enlarging it with the source, connected with the source, and as the very breath of God. Then you release it, this spirit of prosperity, love, joy, kindness. You release it, or wisdom, into the life of Brother Kofi, into the life of Sister Asentua, into the life of Brother Godfred, into the life of anyone you want to, for the promotion of Ethereum Mission, or for the promotion, enhancement, evolution of life or humanity. You can do it, can't we? Yes. Anyone wants a bit more clearer in this? I know. Okay. Now we move on to areas to bless. Here we concentrate on the two main areas. There are two main areas that we give attention to: self-blessing and world blessing. Self-blessing and world blessing. That is blessings for you, yourself, and blessing for the world. In self-blessing, you are concentrating on your 5 areas: SSPPF, spiritual, social, psychological, physiological, and financial lives, all regions of your life. And you bless them. So you have your financial vision, the financial vision for you as an individual entity, and you body them. If you need a role model, somebody who is successful, Richard Branson or anybody, you can link with that consciousness of achievement in the person, the source for your finance, and then you link it to the larger God, the source that you are. And then, by the invocation of your holy breath as the living spirit of financial abundance, you let it flow. You hold it there, empower it, and then enlarge it, and then you breathe it out onto your business or whatever you want to, or any area of life. If it is love into a marriage, you do the same. So you do it for your spiritual, your social, and your financial, physiological, all areas of life. But it's always good to find somebody who represents the height of that attainment that you want. If it's spiritual attainment and you want Brother Ishmael, Jesus, the Master Jesus, Buddha, or any of those, Mother Teresa, the love that she have, you can see yourself in link with them because you have somebody as a pivot, as an evidence. If God has done it through this person, he's doing it through me too. Maybe for those whose faith are weak. We are all children of God, and he loves us equally. If he does it through Mother Teresa and sends that love, he can do it through me. If he does it through Mr. Aho and Mrs. Ahoga's relation, and they have a happy marriage, I can also have it. You use people who epitome the height of whatever you want to achieve. If it's health and you see somebody who is strong and, you can use them as a pivot. Social, find somebody who is so sociable, loved by all. It can be past, it can be present, and then use them to do your invocation with the first breath. I invoke them. And then even when you can do this breath onto, apart from on individual person, you can do it for groups, for community, for organization, for nation, and other forms of life, and even in our world environment, ecosystem. So, for instance, I invoke the first breath of the living spirit of wisdom and joy to flow with my every out breath unto life, unto all, blessing all animals on earth, trees, plants, shrubs, medicinal herbs, to flourish for the maintenance of our ecosystem on earth. Blessing any form, individual, whether the world one like this or an individual one. I evoke the first breath of the living wisdom of God to flow with my every out breath onto the life of Auntie Mabel, to celebrate themselves in their marriage for world peace. The process is the same. In this, you are blessing, as I said, other people and communities. So you can start with the self, SSPP, social, financial, all areas of your life, and you can expand your blessing to the world, to groups, communities, like Etherean Mission UK, Etherean Mission Ghana, Conscious Humanity, the Muslim community, Afghanistan. You can extend your blessing, or even to life, to Mother Nature, all aspects of nature. The higher blessing works. In higher spirituality, you do not pray to be blessed. You pray to be the blessing unto life. You are truly blessed when you are blessing than seeking the blessing. So we do not, in the higher form, in the beginning you'll be praying for blessing, I want this or this. But then a time comes when you should be the blessing, just be a channel of God's blessing unto life. I'm the blessed presence of God here on earth to be a blessing unto life. I'm the blessed presence of God here on earth to be a blessing unto life. I'm the blessed presence of God's peace, God's joy, God's love, to be a blessing of peace, or as a peace emissary unto life, unto humanity. Through me, peace is established in all areas of life, in all corners of the world. Oh, through me, through Etherean Mission, oh, there is world peace. There is world peace in this lifetime, and it is so. You take a deep breath, in breath, connect to the source of the first breath. when we see Genesis, what does Genesis 2:7 tell us about? And God, the Lord formed man and breathed into his nostril the breath of life. The Lord formed man and breathed into his nostril the breath of life. Genesis 2:7. Hence, when you take in a deep breath, you're taking it in there's awareness that you are the holy breath of God. In my breath is the breath of God breathing me. So everything you breathe on or you harness into you is blessed a millionfold. And at the source, you pause and evoke the Spirit for the blessings, such as wise counseling. So first you say, in my breath is the breath of God breathing me. And then you hold on to it and invite the spirit of wise counseling or love or joy or whatever you want, victory that you want in your life or in the life of some, into your breath. And then load it. You hold it with the source, in connection with the source, in that link with the source. You have paused. And then you breathe out, be the blessing. You release this blessing to nourish life as a whole, to nourish humanity, to nourish the galaxies, to nourish Mother Earth, who supports you, who is your playground, feeds you eternally, sustaining you for aeons of incarnation, your family, providing medicines against every ailment that comes. Oh, yes, Mother Earth surely does. You bless them. You can bless, so be a blessing all the time. It's not about me, every time I want some. Let your blessing. We are growing, so we are getting to a level where we should be blessing life. From the moment you wake up, bless the air that is breathing you. Bless the warmth of your heart, the cosmic energy radiating through you, motivating, propelling you into higher glories and higher attainments. Bless the water of restoration flowing through your system, holding your system together, refreshing you, quenching your thirst that you, forever quench and you thirst no more. You bless the earth that is your grounds. You trod on it, you lie on it without a care. The earth which sustains and nourishes you. The earth which is your playground. Bless it eternally. When the moment you wake up, be a blessing unto life. And you find that you become life alive. You are charged every moment. All of life, the elements obey you like a master. Before you call, it is answered. This is where this quotation comes in. If you don't practice, because you are in life to be a blessing unto life, not just to be taken. Blessing Etherean Mission. We have charged some energy center, and we are asked during our sacred moments to identify 7 Christ visions, 7 areas of life, 7 planets, 7, any 7 things that you have, you focus on these 7 areas that you've been praying for, and you bless them. So you are not only blessing yourself beyond the citation or other things, but you are blessed every time you have a number, 7, to help you have a reasonable number to bless the universe around you. You bless it, and we bless the Etherean Mission as the activating presence of God here on earth, making things whole, making things perfect. The unifying and activating spirit of God is Etherean Mission. And we bless it also to bless life. We don't forget that. In that way, we are empowering our own mission. Teaching, now teaching defined. What is a teacher? A teacher is one who inspires another to want to seek knowledge. And you are here to do that. As God's children, you are all teachers. As the Jewish people always say, everybody is a rabbi. You are born a rabbi. You are God's teacher, rabbi. You are a teacher. Teacher, that's simply what they mean. And yes, you are. But you haven't accepted it yet. You have to open yourself like a seed. Everything is already there, but you have to grow it. You have to nurture it. You can't sit in your back garden and grow into the famous, the top rabbi. You have to feed it. You have to go to school. Discipline, spiritual discipline, like the master. He went to schools of thought. He disciplined himself, fasting, praying, letting go of all these earthly attachments. Did not allow pain to rule him because he saw himself one with everybody. The master had three main areas that he was concerned about. He expressed the divinity of man. He told us about the divinity of man. He preached that, that's when we have, through that we made this Christ message, Christ salvation message. It's about the divinity of man, which the Master Jesus the Christ proclaimed. And we read about the divinity of man in Genesis 1:27. Created after in the image and likeness of God. And look, God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male, female created he them. Genesis 1:27. That shows that you are divine, essentially divine. You are just clothed in this, like the prison, to break forth as the giant, cosmic, or spiritual persona that you are. And then in Luke 17:20 also talks about the divinity of God. You can read that in your own quiet time. Luke 17:20. And then Jesus, the Master, also preached about oneness in humanity and of life. That is, he preached unified consciousness. He embraced unified consciousness. And here in Etherean Mission, as we all affirm, we all say, and we know this truth to be so. So every day we declare that I have no enemies. I'm at one with all of life. We embrace all, Muslims, Hindus, pagans. We embrace them all because they are all equally children of God. So we embrace them. We don't have enemies. And the Master Jesus told us this. He taught us this. In Luke 22:51, you find him healing the ear of an assailant, the soldier who have come to arrest him to take him for the crucifixion. When Peter cut off the ear, what did the Master do? He put it back and scorned Peter. He put it back because he recognized his oneness with even the soldier. He knows that it was necessary for him to go through the pain to become the perfected man that he is, that now generations and all world sing about. Who is Herod and the others? Pontius Pilate. Nobody mentions their name. The only time you hear their name is when they have to mention Jesus, that the crucifixion. But nobody sing their praise. He knew that it was a necessary ally for his growth to show the love of God, his maturity, his attainment. He showed it by going through this pain and forgiving, even at the point of crucifixion, when they were throwing gall on his wounds, when they nailed him to the cross. Oh, he was saying, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they were doing. They are children like your child. When your child spits on you, vomits on you, wheezes on you, you don't see it. You don't see it because it's your child, the child you love. Hence the Master embraced with love. What manner of man is he? To love like that. You are capable. You are God's child. You are capable. It's invested in you. Just see and accept your oneness with all of life. Recognize your spiritual union with the pagan, with the Muslim, or with the Hindu man. Oh, they are all equally children of God. With the child, even when a child is being, naughty, it's not him. It's not, the real person. Something has happened and has changed your aura. But the real person, the real Spirit of God within him is blameless. So let's call for that into manifestation. Jesus went to the heart of Samaria to show the unified consciousness that he is advancing, that this is our pedestal. For us, if we call ourselves Christian, we should go to the heart of the people who claim to be our so-called enemies and find out what ticks them, what makes them tick in a particular way. And then heal the wound gently, with love, like a magnet, rub it gently, with love, with affection, with compassion, with understanding, with patience, long-suffering. And then you find that they respond gradually to your love. Because love surely answers love. Love answers love. Love answers love. Love never sleeps 24/7 because God is love. And he has invested this in us. Now the Master Jesus in his teaching he also taught us respect for culture. Respect your culture. People without culture and tradition, they perish. When you look at the Indians, see how they thrive. They respect their culture. Wherever the Indian person is, he respects his culture. He follows his tradition. The Jews follow their culture. They follow their tradition. Africans, why must we forgo our tradition and culture? Jesus said in Matthew 5:1-17, I won't read the passage, but he said, I've come not to destroy the law and the prophets, but to fulfill. I've come not to destroy the laws and the prophets, but to fulfill. Matthew 5:1-7. So he has respect for culture. You can put it anyhow. He had respect for culture. And if we are emulating Jesus and we say we are Christians, then we must also have respect for culture. In Matthew 26:1-6, he showed respect for his culture by following the Passover practice. They had their communion wine and everything. He showed respect for culture. And again in Mark 1:40, when he healed the leper, he ordered him to go and complete the cultural ritual of Moses, which involved using blood of dove to go and purify and cleanse himself further. So the Master Jesus, when we call ourselves essentially Christians and we are following him, we must know that he respects life. He showed respect for culture. He claimed his divinity to the extent that in John 10:30, he claimed his divinity. His claim is oneness with God. He claimed his oneness with Father, Mother, God. He claimed the truth that, I and the Father are one. And for this, what did they do? They crucified him. They arrested him, and they crucified him. They threw stones at him. But he kept saying the same thing, claiming his divinity. That is the message Easter is trying to tell you. That be like Jesus in the mind that, you are divine. You are essentially a divine being of God. And let nothing stop you from claiming this truth that you are divine. You and the Father, Mother, God are one. When you rise to the glory of your Christhood, then you can claim with the Master that I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but by me. Yes, he was speaking not of humanhood, not of human boasting, but he was speaking the truth of his divinity, that you are essentially spirit being, image and likeness of God. Therefore, you are the way to open greater glories unto the lost sheep. There are some people who claim Lord, Lord, and Lord, Lord, but because of their environment, they cannot speak out for their master. They cannot speak out for themselves. They believe, but they are lost souls because they can claim. But Jesus is telling you that no matter the clamor of demand, no matter when people are raising hands on you, no matter if they want to kill you, still know that you are a spirit being, the image and likeness of God. You and Father, Mother, God are one. And as the Master finally said to us in Philippians 2:12, work out your own salvation. Philippians 2:12. Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. So please, brethren, please, Christian communities everywhere, Muslim communities everywhere, you are to work out your own salvation. The Master said the pedestal is so high, and he wants us to do it. He said, what I can do, you can also do if you have faith the size of a grain of mustard. Therefore, you can rise in the glory of your Christhood and, liberate yourself from the servitude of the senses, physical attachment, and express your resurrective power. Today, your call is to resurrect your hidden God abilities. Free them all from pain, sickness, confusion, anger, frustration of the past old ways, and renew your faith. Burst forth like in spring newness. Burst out with happiness, with joy in your life ringing, and be the fruition of God's satisfaction eternally on earth. On this note, I say God bless you. Thank you.
Yes.
Shall we have a transformation moment? What does the resurrective power means to you? What did I say that strike a chord with you? That is your revelation. What I said that heated something in you, that ignited something at soul level. What are you deciding to do about this revelation? Be true to thy own self. The Spirit of the Master speaks to us individually and collectively. I delivered for the Master. I delivered. But what did the Master say to you by the examples in his life? Or by the teachings that he indoctrinated? What is this message speaking to you, your own soul? Something that I did not say, but Spirit is speaking to you directly about. Spirit is empowering you about. What did I not say in my teaching? What did I omit? But Spirit is beckoning you to hold on to practice. This is your transformation idea. The angel that will deliver you. What are you going to do about it? For yourself and for the world. session ends here, but you can always continue in your own special hour of meditation and get more in depth into your message. Feel yourself in this temple. Feel your feet firmly on the ground and stamp your feet gently 3 times on the ground, the left and the right 3 times. Turn your head to the left gently, to the right gently. Snap your fingers and come out. God bless you.
God bless you.
Thank you. Please, the Christ Salvation Ministry and the Mission of Jesus Revealed, they are 2 essential books which empowers you with the truth about the Master Jesus. If you are following his footsteps, this will help you to emulate and be the better God centers of blessing unto life that you are meant to be. God bless you. God bless you.
The mission of Jesus
Revealed.
revealed. The mission of Jesus revealed. And Christ Salvation Ministry. Yes. They are very, very essential if you want to be a Christ. If you want to awaken that Christ power within you, consciously awaken that Christ power within you. It's been a good topic, a life-changing, yes, a life-changing topic that we all, the Easter should not be something that we, in Ghana, is going to the mountains to do bungee jumping and all these happy. It's okay for them, but if you really want to live as a God being, then these are the challenges and the things that you have to go through. Crucify the ego, the challenge, the negativity within you, and awaken that Christ spirit, that Christ power, the goodness, like I said, the goodies in you. Awaken them, because they are all within us. We all have them, and don't think, even Adolf Hitler has got a goodness in him. We are all good people. We are all God beings. God bless you. Any contributions? I think our time is fast spent. So, but we have, if any contribution, and no questions. Yes. Okay. Now, shall we get within? Yes. Now, transport yourself to the tomb of darkness. The tomb of darkness where you were buried. You did not resist being crucified because you know what lies within you is greater. So as you lay in the tomb, you are burying all the negative vices, the anger, the hatred, malice, the disasters in your life. See all the negatives in your life. As you consciously, once again, consciously bury them in the darkness. I leave you to decide. Consciously bury in the darkness. For 3 days, you're being in the darkness. You and only you know what you will bury. Bury them consciously. Now, realize how light you have become. With all the negative burdens behind you. Rise. 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 Gently and calmly. Rise. Do not look behind you. As gently the stone of the tomb is carefully taken away as it brings forth the light. You gently and calmly walk towards the light. You have consciously decided to walk to the light of life, the light of the universe, the light of peace and joy. You embrace this light as your new being. A being of joy, a being of prosperity, a being of absolute love, a being of God or life awakened. And you see only light. You see only purity. You are the risen Christ now. Step outside embracing and enjoying the warmth of the beautiful new you. A beautiful and bountiful new you. This is what you are now. And as you embrace the light, you are at the same time feel the light, being a blessing to all who share your life. Let the world know that you have consciously crucified, buried those negative traits within you. Yes. And in this awareness, I will call forth the divine beings of light to come and minister even more unto us. Raphael, Raphael, Raphael. Michael, Michael, Michael. Gabriel, Gabriel, Gabriel. Eniel, Eniel, Eniel. O beings of the cardinal points of the universes, I call upon thee that thou hearken unto us. We've been in, buried our egos, and we are out now to be a blessing unto life, just as thou art. Let our lives be just as you. We call forth our infinite, that which we seek in our lives. Hearken unto us. But foremost, let our lives be a blessing unto life. Now, brethren, pray. Pray, not for yourself only, but for the blessing of the universe. Let life see the light that you are. From the tomb to the light that you are. blessing the elements. As you are blessed, you are blessed. As you bless, you are blessed. As you bless, you are blessed. Oh, Abba Jehovah. Abba Jehovah. Abba Jehovah. Yes. The light within us touches every soul on this beautiful blue planet. The risen Christ within us touches every soul on this planet. We bless, we consciously bless, and we live as a blessing unto life. So it is, and so it shall be forever. Amen. 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 God bless you.
God bless you. I would say, I don't know if my experience is everybody's experience, but thank you, Auntie Hubie. It wasn't just information. If you were connected, you realize that it was more transformational and something within us, I have felt mine, has transformed us with the teaching of the day. Online family, I know you have felt it. There's no way today's teaching will not transform you. But remember the last very great thing she said, become the blessing to life all the time. Not taking from it. Be it. And when you become it, you become more. So, with all excitement and being transformed to greater good, I'll say, we talk about Brother Ishmael's visit, our daddy, our guru. I call him everything, our lover, because some of us love him to a fault. Comes into the UK on the 25th of May, few days away. And with his visits, we have a retreat. When you move with the master, you know that life is always a blessing. Life is always a blessing when you are with this person. It's like you've met Jesus. So those of us who had written our names down for the retreat, get ready for your life to be transformed. And the monies are being collected. It will be taken by our sister, Georgina Pia. Brother Samuel is not in. He's one of the people taking the money. Or you can't give it to me at any time if you bring in your money. Wednesday, we would have our crystal service. And our crystal service, as usual, would be from 8 p.m. till 9, only an hour service. If you're tuning in online, it's great. But if you're tuning into Ghana, you'd hear our master saying, the best one is to be with the people, generate the energy together. So I'm inviting you, online family, if you can come in here, and let's generate the energy of good to always be a blessing every Wednesday between 8 and 9 p.m. Only 1 hour service. Healing service is coming up. Next week is our healing service time. And I look forward to it so much because we're in the energy of love. And the theme is also on love. So let's prepare in the energy of the Christ love, which is the greatest love. Let's be in that energy for the healing service coming Sunday, starting from 11 a.m. sharp. So all of you are invited. Come in again and join us. Thank you and God bless you.
Song for offertory. Pledges, pledges, pledges.
Anywhere you lead me, I will go. 'Cause you are the way, truth, and the life. Jesus, you never leave me nor forsake me. Except you build a house, the builders build in vain. Me, I will follow you to go. Anywhere you lead me, I don't go. Jesus, my life is for your glory, your glory. She did more. Taking me higher, Jesus, you never leave me nor forsake me. She did do more. You're taking me higher, Jesus.
Yeah, no,
My life
this is
is
okay, but
for
a
your
bit louder.
your glory. You make the little things I do be like saying a big deal. Oh, your grace makes a difference. Just they embarrass me. Oh, I like it. Oh, I like the way you they lead me. Oh, promotion everywhere, contracts everywhere, plenty money everywhere. 'Cause you they lead me every day. I say I like it. Oh, I like the way you they lead me. Oh, Jesus, do more. Jesus, you are taking me higher. Jesus, you never leave me nor forsake me. Jesus, do more. Jesus, you are taking me higher. Jesus, my life is for your glory, your glory. Except you build a house, the builder builds in vain. Me, I will follow you to go. Anywhere you lead me, I don't go. Jesus, my life is for your glory.
Yes, I go follow you where they go. God bless you.
God bless
Shall we
you.
share the grace? We pray. The
The
eternal grace of God abounds
within my soul, as the flower
unfolds its radiant beauty. So do I unfold the divine attributes of the living God. I am whole, I am complete, and God directed always, and so it is. Amen. Now, beings of light here present who came to minister unto us. Ye who are beyond dismissal, I do not dismiss you as yet. I bid thee, however, to the higher offices where the Lord God has promised, has put thee. From there, you continue to minister unto us, until all that we've prayed, that light within us is revealed unto life, and it be a blessing unto life. The completion of these will be your license to depart. Praise, live, and thank God today, then come to our aid when there's any word or action that pertains to your calling. From the very depths of me, and from the point where God is God as me, I bless you.
I bless you.
I bless you.
I bless you.
God bless you.
God bless you.